Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa, and let's see what we can do about finishing up this book and the finishing touches that we want for the book. Okay, now I want to put, before I do the outside, I want to put some brads in between my pages on the binding. Okay, so it will just give us a little bit more security and know that it's really not going to go anywhere. So what I did is I had a piece, it's a 1/2 inch piece, but I had it in my scraps and I cut it. I want to make, yeah, I am recording and you can hear me, yay. I cut it the same height from the top of the book to the bottom of the book. I mean the whole outside piece, just so I knew that my placement was correct. Then I folded it in half, and that gave me my center, and I put a little mark. I don't know if you can see my little pencil mark right there, but I put a little pencil mark on it. And then I measured 1 inch down and 1 inch in this way. So I'm just going to put 3 on each page. Sometimes you can put 5, 6, 7, you can put as many as you want, but I think I'm only going to do 3 this time. So I'm going to do the first page with you so you can see how I'm doing it. Now I just got these, I don't know, I don't remember if I got these at Hobby Lobby or at Michael's. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need, what is that, 12? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to use silver. You can use any color you have. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sure I have 12. I have more than 12. Okay. And then any kind of pokey tool you have totally will work. If you have a crocodile or whatever you want to use, you certainly can. Now I do have a bottom and a top just in case they're different. It doesn't really matter though, because you're not going to see it from the outside, and you're not going to be able to see, you know, once I flip the page, you're only going to see this one. You're not going to see this one. So if it's off by 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch or something, nobody's going to know. But we might as well, if we're going to do it right? Okay, so I am going to put my pokey tool in where the first hole is. And remember, you're going through chipboard and everything. Yeah, I got a good hole started. And then the second hole, and put that in. Make sure you got a good hole started so you can see it. And then this hole. Okay. Now I would go ahead and go through and do all of the holes and then go back and do the brads, but since I'm just doing this first one with you, that's what I'm going to do. So now that I know where the holes are, I'm just picking it up and going through, and there you can see I've gone through the whole book. I'm going to do that on all 3 holes. You want to get it big enough so you can get those brad tines in to the hole. All right, so there's that. And just, whoops, stuck right on my finger. It went in and then I pulled it back out again. Okay, so there's one. And it just is kind of a finishing touch, as well as actually doing a job for us. And get that one down in there. All right, so now we have those in there. We can close the book up. Put your finger on, in the book, put your finger on to the brad and push it while you're opening the tines up. And then go to the next one. Push it. And the last one down here, and open it up. Okay, and then you can take, you know, anything you have and give it really a good tight squeeze. And let me get the center one. Just be careful you're not damaging your page while you're digging around in there. Okay, so there I've got the 3 in the book, and when you open the page up, it's just kind of makes it a little fancier looking. Now this one has actually got a whole what is this, a whole inch probably? Yeah, this is a whole inch. So what you can do is do one. Oh, I thought this was my Hooch, honey, what are you getting into? Oh, he's just playing with his toy. Here it is. Whoops. So I might actually need extra because I think I'm going to do it on both sides of this one, because this 1/2 inch here is this page, and you know, when you think how much weight you've got with this 1/2 inch, it just makes you feel a little more secure if you put it on both sides. So on this one, I'm going to put it on both sides. On this one, I will do the same thing. Do a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch here. So having the template will make a big difference on these. Now you don't have to. And then this is just a 1/2 inch, and so I will just do it one time on this side. And then I'm not doing anything on the you know, after the last page or before the first page. I'm not putting anything on there for that. You can if you would like. I'm not going to. So anyway, so I'm going to finish that up and come back to you guys. Okay, so I got they're 42 or 43 inches long each. Now, if you don't have that much seam binding or ribbon, whatever you have, because I'm going to make a double bow, so I've got 2 pieces about 42, 43 inches long. If you only have a yard should work on here. It would just be a smaller bow. But you can use ribbon, lace, yeah, you know, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want. So to begin with, I've got these about even. There is one that's a little shorter than the other, so I'm just going to kind of center them out. And I'm going to lay them one right next to each other. And for a little bit, I am going to put some double-sided tape. Okay, yeah, got a mind of its own. Stuff is thin, so it's not always easy thing to work with. Try not stretching it, just lay it down on to your ribbon. And you don't have to. I mean, what this is, maybe about 10 inches. This is just to kind of secure it together and make sure that we are going to have a nice, there we go, keep it where we want it and how we want it. So I want to lay this one exactly on top, trying to line them up as best I can. And there we go. All right, yay. Okay, so that is the beginning. Yeah, okay, now we're also going to take, again, just just about, oh, come on now. There we go. Just about 10 or 12 inches. I just kind of made it 10 inches again. And it doesn't matter. You can use 1/4 inch tape if all you have is 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch tape. It doesn't matter. If you don't have any double-sided tape, use a little bit of your glue or a little bit of the Fabri-Tac. Either one works. I probably would have used Fabri-Tac if it was a thicker ribbon, but the seam binding, and this part really is not going to show, so you know, it wouldn't really have mattered. So I'm going to leave that on there for right this second, and I'm going to get back the little template that we have, and I've made a mark here. I'm just going to move it up a little bit, find my pencil. I'm going to make this hole a little bigger so my pencil can get through there. And this is just going to give me a guideline. There we go. This is just going to give me a guideline to put my tape down on. I mean my seam binding. Okay, and up here at the end, I am recording and you can hear me. Yay. Okay, and then we'll flip it over. All this stuff hanging out of the book is the December page, which I'm going to do next. So I'm just trying to get all of this done. So we are moving on. Okay. And then I'm going to put one. Let's grab the pages, open your book up, and well, actually it will go right along here, so that's easy. Easy peasy. So let's go ahead and stand the book up this way. I'm going to go ahead and take my double-sided tape cover off, and I'm going to run it around, trying to keep my eye on my dots. And then just firm that down so you've got good adhesion. Okay. Now, you guys remember, I know I've showed you this a couple of times. I have my, let's see, where's my last little piece? Where'd I put it? Where'd I put it? Well, I will, maybe it's in here. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is going to be my front. This is going to be my spine. My front, my spine, and then I'm going to use part of this second page that I did. Now this was just using all of the pieces and parts that I had left over, and I know I've shown you this before. In order to make sure that my spine is covered, I'm going to measure it first. So since we have the book facing this way, I'm just going to get it, I'm laying it on my glass table because I know that it's going to be fine up and down. Okay, so there is where I want it. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark where I want to cut. All right, I'm going to take this and cut it. So you measure for where you want yours. I have a A little bit of a mess here. Oh, there's my ruler. Oh, I picked up a new stencil. I'll leave that there for you to look at. Oh, I picked up a new stencil. This Stamperia Mixed Media Art stencil. I don't know which one to tell you that it is. KSTD059. But I thought I had a name on it, but I don't see one. But I really liked it, so I got it, and I haven't, of course, haven't used it yet, but I will be. I will be. Okay, so there's my spine, and then right in this area here, I'm going to be putting the lady, maybe up a little higher. I don't know. Yeah. So she'll be on my spine. So I've got my spine cut. Move this stencil out of the way. Bring the book around. Now, I'm going to take, let's see, let's go ahead and take some Fabri-Tac. You can use any glue you got. You can use double-sided tape if you'd like. And let's just squeeze out a line. Come on, bubble. There we go. Squeeze out a line almost to the end. Get your ribbon on top of itself best you can, and let's, I didn't get that real straight. As long as I get this straight. There we go. Okay. Remember, all this is going to be covered. All of this here, a little bit right on the edge will show, but that's it. Okay. So there's that. And then this is what I'm going to have left. Oh, let me cut this off. Remember, it was just on copy paper. So this is going to come all the way to the edge. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going, why is this so small? It's because I'm covering it with this first. Okie dokie. So if you want to put, most of this is not going to show, so you don't really need to worry about. Let's just get this to cover all the way up to just before the end of the actual cover front. And then you want it with an even line all the way around. I'll go ahead and cut this. Take your time. Remember, we only have 2 sheets. When we mess up, and we're in trouble. In trouble. Okay. So there's that. And if I would have made the other cup first, I probably would have had my spine piece. Let's see. Yeah, I've got enough to do my spine piece. I think I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to cut. It's got the perforation in it, but that's going to be covered. So I'm just cutting to the very edge of where this is. The perforation actually goes in another 1/4 of an inch, but it's going to get covered. But I need every inch of the color on the paper. So I'm going to cut just that lighter cream colored top off. There we go. So Let me see how I did here with this. Good. I want to make this the same depth as this one, and I'm just going to do it this way. Just take your time, stay right along the edge of the top paper with your scissors so that you cut yourself a pretty edge. I missed a little piece. Right about there. Ooh-wee. There we go. Little piece. Okay, so there is my front and my side. I'm going to ink those. I'm going to cut my back the same way, and then I'll come back to you. Okay. Oh, I moved my camera a little bit. So, what I did the front, and we're going to cover this up. The spine. I haven't put my lady on there yet. And now we're going to work on the back. Now the first thing is I'm going to get my Fabri-Tac, glue, double-sided tape, whatever you want. I want to make sure my ribbon is on top of each other. And when you're using the glue will go through both layers. If you have a thick piece that you're doing 2 layers with, you know, maybe you'll have to do both. Okay, and I'm just putting it a little thicker right down here at the edge, and then I'm just going to lay this down and push that glue through. Normally when you're going to see this ribbon, I don't push the glue through, but I want this to really hold well. Now I cut out my base piece, and let's see, I think, yeah, this is my top. So I cut out my base piece. I put the T. I put a T right here for the top. And then originally I was going to just make these tags. I don't actually need a ton of tags. So I thought, why not just cover the back as well with the collage, paper piecing, whatever you want to call it. So I have inked the edges, and I'm going to go ahead and put this down on this where I have a little more control than trying to maneuver my whole book. So just another way that you can do it. Just make sure that you're using a good bit of glue on this part, because you don't want the cover coming off. So I use quite a bit of glue, and if you get it coming out the edges, that just means that you've got that edge glued down well. So, you know, there are times where that's not a bad thing. Okay, so I'm going to lay this on here, leaving myself that little edge that I want all the way around. And I've got enough glue on there that if I need to move it around, I will. But I think I did just fine. I got a nice bit of glue coming out on these corners. Okay, now if you want to take some multi-matte finish or something like that to put over the tops of these, so that your papers, because you've got all these little bits and pieces of papers, you could do something like that if you would so like to. I've got a little smudge, and it's not wanting to come off. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you can get something multi-matte. what is the, can't think of the name. You can put, oh, for heaven's sakes, I will come back to you on that one because I can't for the life of me think of what it is. Well, like this, glue and seal. This is Ink Essentials. You can use this. It's a multi-purpose glue and sealer. Any kind of decoupage, paste, Mod Podge. There we go. Could not think of it. I mean, they even have that at the dollar store. And it's a small bottle, but you really don't need much. So, those are some options that you could do if you want to just help save all the bits and pieces of paper that you have. So again, I am going to do a good bit of glue. And this time when you're putting it down, you want to make sure that you're putting the top on the top. Get my thumb out of the way. This is probably overkill, but I don't want to have pockets, you know, little spots that are popping up off the page because I didn't have enough glue on there. I don't like that. Okay, and this is the top right here. And I believe that is going to do me right there. Pull it down just a little bit. Okay. And then there we go. All right. So I covered with glue. So I was kind of really wanting to work that good, so I'm kind of holding it up off of the pages so that I'm not going to damage the book anyway. Get the extra glue coming off of there. Get this glue all squished around in there. All squished. And basically, you know, at this point, we just have a little bit to do on the front and you can be done, or you can pull out flowers and all kinds of good stuff, but we would be done with our cover. So, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do on here. It's not going to be anything super, super fancy because where I'm going to put this, I don't want a lot of thickness on my cover. But I think I will pull out a few things that I can show you that, you know, maybe you would like to do. So I'll think on that for a little while. So the only thing we have left are two things. I'm going to show you the booklet. And I need to do the December page. And then I'll come back and give you some ideas for your cover. All right, guys? See you later. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Pretty darn cool book. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay. I guess my camera is there. All right. So now what we're going to do is I am going to put with my Fabri-Tac, I'm going to put a bit of this lace down right about here on the edge of the checkered paper. So approximately 3/4 of an inch away from the spine. But that's just what I have to cover. If you, I didn't get it right on the edge of my tan paper too. If you have, if you had enough to cover the whole thing, then you can just put it wherever you want to. But this is going to go right along that edge. And I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to put some more and kind of swirl it around a little bit. Just up to the edge of my paper, and I've got a piece of, also I'm going to put a little bit more across the top, and you got some time to work with your Fabri-Tac, so you don't have to get in a rush. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right across the top edge of my lace. Let me go ahead and cut this off where I want it. There we go. And I am leaving this open. You can totally seal it down if you'd like. And then I'm going to put this right along the edge of the paper and over the top. And I just feather light touched. It is getting into the glue, but without making it really push through to the top. Because then you can really tell that you've got the glue there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut. Oh, that was my little dog. Well, my big dog. My big puppy. Okay. A little fuzzy. There we go. So I cut that edge. And I'm going to cut... Oh. This edge. If you want to, which is a good idea as well, is you can cut yourself a strip of paper, maybe a little piece of cardstock, that you can glue all this onto, and then just have the one piece to glue down. And then if you make a mistake, you're not actually working right on your book. And then I'm going to take a piece of this little lace and put it right at the very edge of the seam binding that I put down. And that's going to work for me. Everybody is different, but I don't want to take away. I'm going to go ahead and cut this before I glue it down. I don't want to take away. I need to find my good sewing scissors again. I don't want to take away from the other piece that I'm going to put on. I think I had showed everybody at the very beginning when we were pulling out all of our items. I believe I did show you, but I will show it to you in just a second. Let me get my glue down and my lace down. So I'm just doing a thin bit of glue all the way across on the top edge. Make sure I've got, yep. When you're looking at lace, there is a side that looks like you can see all of the strings that make the stitches, you know, make the pattern. And then the other side kind of looks like it's just the pattern and you don't see as many as of the stitches. Some laces you can look at and you just can't figure it out. Like this one is this little one is kind of hard. But some of them, it is definitely, you can tell. Like this one. Let's see. There's this side. And there's this side. This is the good side. And it looks like all of the strings connecting them go underneath them. Where when you look at this side, it looks like all the strings are going on top of them. I hope you can see that. And that's how you know which side is the better side. Okay, so we're good there. Now, I had showed this to you guys. I do believe this is a friend of mine in our Altered group made this. And thank you, Kathy. I have altered it a little bit more because she had all of this brown, which there is, you know, the craft in there, and this kind of brown color here, but I did take a little bit of black, just Tim Holtz Distress, just a little black around the edges. And then I took some creamy wax with, it's kind of a mauve color, and kind of touched up in a few little spots with that. I tried a green, but I didn't like it, so I did try to wipe that green off. Yeah, it was just a little too minty for this. Now I have pulled together a few flowers and little twigs of greenery, and I'm going to try. This is not my forte. I don't normally play with this, but I got a ton of flowers for Christmas. And let's see, I was thinking I liked kind of this one here, or no, it was this one I really liked. I don't need a ton of anything on there. I did want to kind of keep it. And then this is a Prima flower. But I thought with the lace on there, that was kind of pretty. And then I just have these little things that I've picked up at garage sales and stuff. So I could not tell you where you would want to go to purchase them. But, you know, Michael's and Joann's in the wedding department, they usually have some small little clusters. Or, of course, you can, what's it, Wild Orchid Rose or something like that. So, and you do need your hot glue gun. So you guys pull your hot glue gun out and get it on if you want to do something like this, or we'll just see how it goes. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. So, I think the first thing I want to do is lay this piece. I think I'm going to trim off the second piece so I have a little more control of where it is. So now this is plastic, and I'm hoping that it's not going to get too hot with the glue gun, but I want to have some control of where it is. There we go. I certainly don't want to mess up my mouse or my squirrel. She put the cute little squirrel there. Let's see, do I want to put this one down next? Or, let's see, where else am I going to want little bits of this? So let's kind of get these things where we want them. Just watch that you don't get that hot glue on you. So where somewhat long fingernails comes in handy. I do have a hot finger press. Okay, I like that one there. And then I have another little piece, and I think I'm going to cut off a few of the little sprigs down where you're not going to see them, so that it's, yeah, I think that will be good. Put a little bit of glue, lay it where you're going to want it. Yeah, that's nice. Kathy, I hope you don't mind that I'm altering it, but I am using the majority of it just the way you made it. It's beautiful. And let's see, I think I'm going to use these two. I wish I had 3 flowers, but I do not. You know, you always want it in 1, 3s, or 5s, but kind of bend these stems a little bit. And and I got one more little piece of that. Let's see. That's kind of nice for down here. Let's see, put the flower here. Have that. And we'll stick a little rose in there. Oh, very cute. Okay. So let's put this down first. You're building underneath your main flower, but we don't want to build it up so high that the flower won't really lay down nicely either. And this is very delicate. This is just paper. So there's that. Where's my little rose? Here it is. And you just play around till you get it the way you like it. Stick that little rose right in that space. And am I going to want a little bit of this coming out? Oh, I think so. I'm going to cut it down a little bit and cut a little bit of the bottom pieces off. Get a little hot glue on there. And I'm going to pull this flower away and stick that. I want it in there more. Come here. Come here. Oh, goodness. Okay. There we go. All right. And then there's that. And then, am I going to want a little rose up here? Or put another little rose right over here? Or do I like it over here? Kind of right along there. No, I don't like it there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue down on this and get it down. Okay, now I can, let's see. Yeah, that will work for me. I think I'm going to try and bend this a little bit more. There we go. Now it's sitting where you'll be able to see it nicer. I can take a little bit of this off, make it easier. And we're just going to slide it right in underneath here. There. That's cute. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot. And that's going to go right here on my book. And it says home is where your story begins. And this is all about us in our new home here in Kentucky. So that's why it was just perfect. Now, she gave instructions on this, and I'm going to read it to you just so you have it. You spread a walnut size, so, about like that, pinch of paper clay. And you can start off with a tag the size that you want. This was, 5 by 3? So something like that. But wax paper if you don't want the paper to actually be on the back of it. But you can, put wax paper and use it as your guide as how big you want it. You use your fingers to push the clay to the 4 edges. You purposely leave the clay surface uneven. You stamp randomly over the clay using objects or actual rubber stamps to make the impressions. You can air dry before you apply your embellishments or color from paint, chalk, ink, pencils, etc. Or you can do it while it's still wet. And then you lift the clay and you can then glue it to your tag that you had underneath the wax paper. Or you can just do it right on top of the tag, but you do need to kind of put a little bit of glue on it at some point. And it's fairly sturdy, And when you get it this thin, you do have some complications. So there we go. And we're just going to lay that puppy right about there. And I love it. I love it. So anything you have, or you can make yourself a tag like this, getting some paper clay. Paper clay is wonderful, and it's so much fun to play around with. You can get it at, I believe, both Michael's and Joann's. I do not know about Hobby Lobby. And of course they have it like on Amazon or anything like that. So guys, there it is. And I guess I just didn't need this one. I didn't really like that anyway. I unplug my glue gun so it can cool off before I go to bed. Aw, that is just so cute. And that, we had very little scrap. I will have it's a video that I'm doing with scrap paper, but there was no scraps left with this paper. Basically, the cover used up almost all of the scraps. But I had another set of it. So look for my using up your scraps, and it is going to be about using calendar type papers to make cards and other things that that you would, maybe normally work with. But it really came out, they really came out super cute, and I mean quick. I must have made, I don't know, I don't remember. You'll see though. I made a lot of cards, and I also made a receipt for my I keep all of my receipts, everything. I keep them all, and I do them by month. So I'm going to make a little receipt holder for my year of, because last year I just put them in envelopes, and that's boring. I'm a paper crafter. I can do better than that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. We made I forgot my, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? I have my gal with, it's this, but this is from the other collection. I have my gal that I've already backed on black paper. And, and one other thing. I'm glad I looked around, because I was going to forget to do this with you. Okay, so this is the little notebook we made. Now you can do staples. If you have a stapler that goes in this far, you can totally do staples. I'm going to do a quick, don't even need a needle, because my thread is a pretty thick thread that I'm going to use. I'm going to poke myself 3 holes. I kind of eyeballed the center. I'm holding my paper in place, or you can, which is probably better, put yourself some little clips, a clamp, something to hold your paper. And then a little ways in from the top and the bottom, you want to put another hole, and you want to make them, as close to symmetrical or, evenly spaced as possible. Okay, and then I have some of the green, that's not green, some of this green thread, and you will get, 2 to 2.5. I like to have a little extra to play with. So you can start anywhere, but I'm going to start in the center. And I didn't make the holes quite large enough to get it all the way through there. And I'm just going to poke my thread through one of the holes. I'm going to make these two a little larger as well, so that my thread will go through nice and easy. You can put your thread on a needle. Okay, and then I'm going to poke this end. Either go to the upper one or the lower hole, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to clip away the little piece that is sticking up there, kind of catching my thread. And so we go in this hole. Come on now. In this hole. If you need to cut yourself a new end, do it. Get in there. Make sure your white paper is lined up as well. You can take your pokey tool and try and assist it to get in there. Come on. I did another one like this, and I wasn't on film, and it just went right through. Of course. Okay, so we have, what did I do here? Wah! Oh, okay. I grabbed the wrong end once when I was, okay. So we're going to take this end that's sticking out. I grabbed the other end that was still inside the book. And come on, get down in there. There we go. Easy peasy. And then we're going to go back through the center. So I'm just going to pull my thread. I'm just going to pull my thread. This is just a real easy. Gonna need this one. This is the only one where it kind of gets a little finicky, because I don't want to make the hole so big that, there we go. Good. All right, so we have this. And we have this. Now I'm going to pull this because I'm not even. I'm going to get myself a new end here. And I'm going to put it through from the outside back to the inside. Now if you want to have a little bow on the outside, then you would start from the outside instead of like I started going from inside to outside. You would just start it going from outside to inside. All right, come on now, get in there. All right, there we go. And then you're just going to, well, let's do it correctly. You're going to put one around the string, and it just helps to kind of catch it to be nice and firm, not too tight, because then you're going to bend your paper. Because remember, we've only got a little piece of cardstock and two little sheets, so you just kind of want to hold everything and give it a nice little knot, and then cut. You can leave the ends as long or as short as you want. You can even leave your ends if you tied it up here instead of in the center, and you can put little danglies on it, maybe with a little charm, whatever you want, and that goes into the march. So guys, thank you so much. And when I find my lady, I'm going, oops, I'll do a walkthrough, but when I find my lady, I'm going to put her right about here, right? But she's got black around her. And that's it. Then we're done. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. And I'm already planning my next one, so stay tuned. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. Bye-bye.